Good morning. Thank you all for being here in this very powerful 11:11 gateway. We know it's a Sunday. We understand there's a lot of things happening today. So Honey and I are very, very grateful that you've taken the time to honor yourself, taken the time to honor this day. Most importantly, taking the time to honor Honey. And so I just like to say how grateful this moment is, not only because it's 11:11, but this is a very powerful day for Honey as she is retiring from planetary healing work. So this is a very sentimental day, as well, a very powerful day. For I know in this past year, I've got to see what's coming through tonight. I've been actually the conscious vessel to receive the messages that come forth. And I would say it's been amazing, incredible, out of this mind, and magical. You guys can breathe because it's nothing too crazy that you guys can't take. I know a lot of times when messages come in, there's this, what's going to happen tonight, today, this morning? But for me, I just like to share the beginning of my experiences, because whether it's been in the middle of the morning, whether it's been facilitating healing, I've been honored to receive, to be activated, and to hear the messages that come forward. And for today, I invite this moment for you guys just to relax, just for you to receive and be open. For each time when the message comes forward for me, I feel this gratitude, this love that there is wisdom being imparted, and there is this gift that's coming forward. For one of the biggest messages that came forward that's changed my life forever was when Archangel Michael came through, my dear beloved, and spoke of the great, profound healing that has brought forward a message and has brought forward a gift for those that I'm so honored that I've facilitated, that I've been so just joyful to be a part of. And so it's been really fun in my mind and in my heart, because what's coming forward is a remembrance. What's going to happen today, it's going to be something that really allows you to feel in your heart, to really feel within your soul, and to feel, come on, my dear, you're all right. And to feel the great importance that's coming out, because on today, it is, if not one of the most powerful days of the year, one of the most powerful days in the past 7 years. And so I just want you guys to know that you can relax. You're held in the highest protection. We've blessed this place. We've saged everything down. And we're going to enjoy. We're going to have fun. We're going to really see how this can fully activate and create the energy, because each of you are here for a reason. And this channel will connect through all of you, as it's done for me in different moments. If it's the Council of Light coming in the middle of the night, or Antarians coming in to remind what messages are. So it's been actually quite, I would say, mystic, because as everything comes forward, there's another awakening process within us that unfolds. And so I feel as we are all awakening, as we are all becoming more conscious in these days, this is another remembrance of what we hear today. And so I could not be more honored, more blessed, and more grateful, because it takes a very, very powerful being to bring forth this energy. It takes a very devoted, passionate, pure individual that allows this frequency. And most important, it takes the highest trust that this beautiful, wonderful love of my life that has been given the gift to bring this message forward, to bring these energies so that we can all experience them together. the courage, the confidence, and really what a lot of people don't see, the dedication that Honey does every morning in prayer. Every text message, every response, diligently following this divine presence that comes forward. I've never, and trust me, I grew up with some very new age, spiritual, hippie family that threw me in the midst of everything I could possibly imagine, this big, until I went to my little spiritual closets. And then, of course, I met this beautiful goddess that pulled me out of Mexico. Thank you. But I've never seen the loyalty, the love, and just the passion that Honey emanates, illuminates, radiates. And so I'm honored, blessed, and truly grateful for this moment and every moment that I get to share with you. Because this is the divine love that we radiate outward, that you guys get to experience, you guys get to feel. And we know it's for the highest good of all. So at this moment, I would like to honor and respect and introduce my dear beloved.
Wow. Hi everyone. I had not at all anticipated being this emotional this morning at all. But there's immense amount of love that I feel. It's so we're going to be in it together, and this is what this gateway is about. So before I begin, just bow to the sacred beauty that is here today, that sacred soul that has chosen to come to be here. And just acknowledge each of you deeply. In gratitude. Be there. So thank you so much for taking the time and feeling the call to be here, to take part in today. You've heard me talk about this, not just any ordinary day, but not just a gateway, not just a StarGate, but a truly a profound day that is here to support all of us and everybody else on earth that is taking part on it. I'll get into that in just a little bit. I'm going to talk about what this triple gateway is actually about and why you're really here. There's a deeper part of you that's here that is so honored to be embraced. But let me just begin with a little bit about, I'm so grateful to Michael. That was so beautiful, so heartfelt. Just so heartfelt because Michael has, ever since we met, this Wednesday is 2 years ago that we met at my Galactic Shamanic Sound Medicine, where I met actually Kim, a few others too in Baltimore. And I had my East Coast tour. I had just come back from Europe, and me and Alan Pratt were doing the night before election. Linda and Michelle were there, also just to anchor this frequency here. And then I met Michael, and within 2 weeks, we left to go on the road for 3 countries to do our planetary work. And I was like, I don't know who you are. Do you know what you're supposed to do? Do you know how to open the gateways? Do you even know how to open them and close them? Like, it's like, who are you? Like, you better not come here to want to have any other ideas. I got work to do, and it's serious, and I'm getting this stuff because I've been devoted to this, So we got on, we left right away in 3 countries, working, going to see these pyramids and clearing a lot of debris in the earth grid so these codes of light can come. And it was the very first time that right as soon as we got together our first pyramid, the Council of Light wanted to come in. And I've been kind of hesitant with people seeing me go into a full-blown channel because, just like many of us, been so judged, left and right, you're judged, right? Like for just being us, we're judged. From top to bottom, expression is judged, right? Welcome, blessings right there. So I was a little bit, scared of having Michael see, going to voices, the voices start coming in, my face changes, like, oh my God, it's kind of sweet too. He feels so, maybe he's the one, but I don't want him to judge me, right? Like, because how much we've been judged, right? And the harshest judge is our own self anyway. So off we began, and there was no choice. Council of Light had to come because it was very instruction. What they had to do in Belize, it was the day before 12/21, and I've been working on these gateways for the past 6.5 years. Literally, after I was sent back to my body after the death experience. For some of you that do know, but some of you that don't know, this January 8, 2012, I physically died, and I was on the spirit side and experienced a whole lot. Then they sent me back. When they sent me back, they did update my codes, my DNA. They did update my frequency, and they gave me a set of sort of like keys, how to work with Earth grid system, and not just the first Earth grid, not the second, but I'm predominantly assigned to the third grid system these past several years. And for the first 5 years of it, I've been sent to many different places, as my girlfriend Michelle knows, and Linda knows, all over, traveling and sort of activating these codes on the land, and whatever, and help them become the living code. So it laying the foundation of the new consciousness, so then the new cities of light can become. Many of us have been called to it somehow in another way. Suddenly we feel like, oh my God, I gotta bury crystals, I gotta go here, I gotta go there, I don't know what I'm doing. It's been a time, sort of like release capsule in some of us that we have known we have to come here, release everything that we've ever been taught. All the programs have to go out of the way so we can start to bring this other part of us that only knows truth and only knows light, only knows love. And everything we've been taught has been, frankly, a lie, right? And then we've been awakened. We're the awakened ones, right? Like very clear. Our wings have been finally, right, retracted back, and we can start to fly because we're feeling the liberation of our soul that's not plugged into the matrix so much anymore. We started to pull back our energy so we're with ourselves. So anyway, so through this, as soon as Michael and I got back, we started our life together. And Michelle is my dear sacred girlfriend, and she is also a very important part of today, because 7 years ago today, on 11/11/11, Michelle was my publicist when I launched my book the day I became a superhero at the I Can Do It conference in the Hay House in Tampa. And we went, it was incredible. And little did I know, 7 years later, I'll be offering this, So life takes you on a journey, but this is a very significant moment from that StarGate to this StarGate. And Michelle was the first person that met Michael. She's like, he's the one. I said, calm down, sister, calm down. You gotta pass the test with the portals first. You're not going anywhere. I'm not just taking any man, He's gotta be ready, So anyway, everybody calm down. He can be delicious and all, but he's gotta handle it. Does he have the sacred heart to do this? We need the Christed heart to do this. So anyway, so during this 2 years almost, Michael has had the surprise element of experiencing many different beings come through me. And finally, it was such a liberation that I could just be me, and I can go in crazy, my God, like all these different ones wanted to come in and talk to me. And my face goes, I'll talk about that in a second, because you might very well experience it when I go incorporate it. And for him to be like, not just like, what's wrong with you, which usually happens. It's like, oh, wow. It's really amazing. So he's been able to experience communicating with these different presence. And then they have taught him so much. And well, I experience everything visually. So just, I'll talk about this in just a second too. But he's had the experience of them showing him how to do healings, multidimensional from different dimensional fields, bringing it on here, how to do different things with lights and codes in my body, how to just finally, all these pains from so much entrapment, just in this very difficult, very dense, difficult, traumatic incarnation, chose to incarnate into. Just like many of us, we chose to incarnate in this incarnation, one of the toughest incarnations, to transmute all density and all the bullshit, the belief system, the BS, right? Back into the light, because it's not the truth of that which we are. We finally have had to go through it, so we stop the lineage. We stop the lineage and no longer contribute in co-creation from that place of density. So we're bringing the love by taking it in, exactly like what Christ did. Transmute it and radiate the light, right? Your own resurrection flame. You're not going to be on a cross anywhere because you already are crossed with horizontal and vertical access. You're already coming in with it. There's nothing you have to create. There's nothing you have to develop because you already are. And if you're here, believe me, you're the ancient ones. Believe me, you are so ancient beyond imagination. You know, a few million years old. I might surprise a few of you. What? Me? I'm only sharing a dentist in this incarnation. Oh, sister. I was shocked when I was on the other side. They showed me I had 844 human life experience. I was like, what? How slow? Then there's the judgment. How slow of a student am I? I have to come in and go, I can't get this damn right. And they said, this is your last incarnation. Yes, she was like, you are completed. I'm like, you better believe I ain't coming back here. I'm doing this. So anyway, point of all of this, it's been wonderful, this material to come in, because I never imagined 7 years ago with Michelle that I would be going into a full-blown, multi-dimensional, multi-transmedium channeling. I never even imagined that. I remember the first time I went to see Abraham, and I was like buzzing like crazy, like my heart was pounding like this. I was like, oh, what is this frequency? And I'm seeing all these gold lights coming in through me, like, oh my God, what is this? Never did I imagine that I would be in that position, but one step further, I would be fully incorporated. And I have no idea who's coming in. So not a predominant channel for one being. So let me just step back, just a quick education, because I feel it's very important. Many people, due to lack of, sort of like it's not in their mainstream or everyday experience, they're not familiar with what really channeling is or being in that presence. Everybody has access to being a channel. Every single one of you can channel. It's not a big deal because it's your most natural state of being. All of you somehow hear that other voice in you, right? Voice of wisdom. Come on, raise your hand. Who do you think that is? It's you. The bigger you, the bigger I. And often the collective energy, the higher masters, the higher councils, the galactics, they're all part of that same frequency field. So you get to experience it. You might not fully go in there and communicate it, but it's there. So point being, everybody can channel. Now, the difference between a medium and a channel. So I'm also medium, so I can speak with, say, our loved ones on spirit side. So, okay, there are many spirits here right now. Okay, I choose not to interact with them because it's just There are too many of them, and it's exhausting, frankly. I've communicated that since I was a little kid, being able to see them and hear them. So I do have both gifts, but those gifts were activated in the car accident, which the book is all about. By the way, each of you get the book as a gift from 7 years ago. So because Michelle is part of it, so give it to all of you. Anyway, so just the frequencies here, 1111 to 1111 later. As a medium, we're kind of like the telephone, we're like there's a telephone line, right? The spirits from other side, we call it other side, it's just the other side of the veil, from physical to non-physical, are communicating. We're able to receive it, we're able to then communicate it back. That's just plain standard mediumship. We're kind of like do you remember those old telephones where people used to call and somebody would then make the call? That's exactly a medium, right? Nothing big deal. Okay. Now, a channeler is one that that allows the presence or the vessel be used for that consciousness to speak through it. You see, it bypasses the mediumship. It is still a mediumship, but it's a different level. So it comes through it instead of me saying, okay, so Michael was working on me the other day, and I felt other hands on my body, and I checked and it was Michael's father. And I was like, Michael, your father is here. He said, oh, okay, excited. So we had a 45-minute conversation, but I had to like right away be like, whoa, you can't enter my field. Like, I don't want that presence to enter me. You stay here, let me hear. I'm with my angel here. Okay, let's bring the information. So we had a nice 45-minute conversation with each other. I usually don't engage with that because I've done that so long, but I'm asked to utilize my vessel differently. So in the channeler, that if he entered my body and he starts speaking, that will be a direct channeling, right? Now, it could be just speaking through, but the full vessel not being used. Okay, that's just a medium in a mediumship channeling. And incorporated channeling is in that place, everything is also remembered. In an incorporated channeling, in which I'll go into today, all of my body, this vessel, all my other bodies, my aspects, every part of me gets out of the way. That entire presence, whether it's one being or a collective being, fully enters my body. So this is what many religions freak out because they're like, oh, she spoke in tongues. And like, oh, devil came into her, because they're afraid of the power. They don't know what to put it. And particularly women, for a long time, if a woman went into channel or spoke, they called her evil because they said power only belonged to the men. So we're clearing a whole lot. But this is the most innate natural gift to a woman because we have no resistance in this space. It's easier for us. Men have a little bit of a harder time with this because they have to go through a little bit few more steps. So we're not going to get into the gender things here, but just in general. But when it's somebody's presence, when that presence is able to come in and speak, in my case, I do not have a mental memory of what took place or a hearing. I don't know what's spoken through me because I'm literally shrunk. Me that's speaking to you shrunk about I don't know, like the size of a herb, maybe like a grapefruit size, and I'm right here, usually about 2 feet, right here. So I, just like you, am watching this, and who's speaking through it, but I am experiencing everything in imagery. So imagery is in sound and is in colors. So all different rays, and there's codes that's when I'm experiencing that from that consciousness. It's very multidimensional. So often when I come back, I get to listen. We have a recording because I don't know what was said. So I can become a very clear conduit of being coming through me. So I can stay out of the way. Any questions so far? who has been in front of, except here and a couple of you, who's been in the presence of a full multidimensional transmedium channeling before, incorporated?
With you last
Yeah, you were. I know you were. Perfect. So is it scary? It's interesting though, right? Okay. So one of the things that happens, because imagine like my vessel has to raise its consciousness so much, its vibration so much, so it can create a contact with that higher dimensional presence. Whether it's fifth, it's usually from fifth dimension up. So I am able to communicate my vessel between fifth and 12th dimensional frequency, is able to communicate. When it gets a little higher, it is harder on my vessel, I do have to say. That's why in the email I said, I don't know what would happen. So imagine you've been given a task to like, hey, you have to do this, but guess what? We don't tell you who's going to come through you. And you have to create a gathering with everybody else to trust, hey, let's gather, let's see who's going to come. None of us know. Would you do it? Right? Do you know how vulnerable that is? Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. Right? Like, am I going to make a fool out of myself? Who's it going to be? And right? So it takes a lot of trust, but I have to raise my vibration. So when I get to this place, what happens is a couple of things I feel just information-wise. It is as if I'm plugged into a cable of 1,000 watts. So the frequency is so high in my system that I am able to be out of the way and then allowing this transmission to come. So when the transmission first comes, it's a little rusty, if you want to call it, because it's trying to adjust. The voice is not quite right. I'm trying to raise this higher. They're trying to raise it a little bit lower, just so that this. So, like for example, right now I'm on 95.5 FM. They get like 95.9 AM. They're like, hey, come over here. So you can create that. Otherwise, it'd be like, you see what I mean? Okay. So that's what happens. When it first comes in, there are sounds that I use to get in that space. Please just don't mind me. The way I get into it is through sound, because sound opens up my own interstellar gateway. This is so necessary for all of us. When we're on Earth, this has to be open. And this is what has been blocked predominantly in all of us, because we've been not supported to be who we are and speak our truth. So our heart feels this, our mind feels this, and everything is stuck here. Majority of us women, all the thyroid issues, right? All the teeth issues, allergy issues, neck and shoulder issues forever, because we've just not been embraced and nourished to be who we are, just so we can be free to speak and just frankly be, right? So the sound helps open these channels, because through this crown, as this is coming in, it can't be stuck here. It often gets stuck here. It needs to come in. It needs to come in through the emotional body and then all the way into the physical body. You see what I mean? So there's like a mechanics or science literally around it. The other part of it is, though it's been 6 years that I am doing this, only last year I came publicly out with it, because I'm a very hard student on myself. I need to study who's talking to me. I like being in charge. Who on earth wants to utilize my field to come in? To me, this is a house of divine. I'm not just going to open this door to anyone. I do have respect for my holy vessel. I've come to, because I didn't before, I've come to really embrace this is the temple, the real temple of God that I'm creating on earth. I've come to have so much reverence for this instrument, that more so recently I really have reverence for that. Wow, it's an instrument. Okay, this is my gift. I never knew. There we go. So when the frequency comes into me, when I'm in that channel space, my eyes twitch, my mouth gets weird. Often my mouth is sideways. Okay, so don't mind, because my jaws has not yet relaxed enough with this high voltage electricity. You see, I'm still also learning more and more each time for the presence. Sometimes when it's like, let's say if it's an angel speaking through. It could be a group of angels. I don't know. It could be a group of councils. I don't know. If it's one person, if it's closer to the human incarnation, my vessel handles it better. Not naturally, because it's a little bit closer. If it's one of the big ones, we've had a couple of big ones. I am knocked out. I'm literally knocked out for hours. And it will take me a while to come back. So once the channeling begins, I don't know what would happen. You don't know what would happen. But please don't mind me. I know how to take care of this, and Michael has been well trained now. You just have to. He has met so many of them, and they give instructions and all that. But it's gotten better and better and better. I would love to be like Aisha. I'd love to be able to do the closing with you, but please, I really want you to focus on you. I don't know. Don't worry if there's water, foam coming out of my mouth. I'll be okay. Okay? Do not get no scared, nothing. My own system still is adjusting. So it's part of the education that I'm sharing with you. But trust, I'll be safe. Part of it is because I know how to navigate through the dimensional realms. I know how to go through the corridors to get into the gateways, to get into the StarGate. And that's a big one today that I'll be working with, and then allowing this frequency to come in. I feel it'll be a big one. I don't know. Only maybe it won't be. I don't know. Because it's 11, 11, 11. The other part is you stay in your heart. All is required for you to be in your heart. Michael is going to offer a prayer, a group prayer for all of us. And believe me, the entire experience is blessed from the highest. They will not allow my field to be utilized for any consciousness that is not of the highest and the purest light, that does not have the intention of the highest good for the evolution of humanity. It's just been set up in that way now. And also I have learned in these several years how to navigate it. So I've become a guardian, my own gatekeeper who's coming in. Hey, you want to come in? Like Nile knows, and a few others that were part of our Starseed class. You better pass, beloved Yeshua. You better talk to Mother Mary first. Hey, Archangel Michael is here to try to get past him. So there are a whole bunch of them. Hey, once you pass it, if you get the green light, then you're allowed to come in. You see what I mean? So feel comfortable. That's the space I'm in. Just don't mind the expressions, because again, and in my human form, I'm still adjusting. So because it's fully incorporated, it's a next level after, for example, Lee Carroll, or after Abraham, that presence. It's a full incorporation. Do you understand? Any questions? Okay, so at that time, Michael will be offering a prayer. You just enter that prayer space, and Michael will be asking to be in your light body, a geometric form around you, and stay in your heart. If you want to look at the frequency, the spoken words, look at me, go ahead. But just don't get distracted by the facial expression or my hands. Often my hands sometimes get like this because the transmission is so high. Let that go. Stay in the frequency. Those of you who can experience multidimensionally, you'll be able to be like, oh, holy heavens, the frequency that's here. Like, soak it in, bring it into you, enjoy it, embrace it, and let it just emanate through you, through every part of existence. You know, let it go. And it's not the words, believe me, the words that are being said. It's a frequency behind words. Sometimes they do a group healing. I don't know what will happen. We'll see. And sometimes the voice is lower. If the voice is too low, ask them to adjust it. Yeah. Oh, and if you feel there's a burning question, you have to ask a question, you have to ask a question, you have to ask a question. That's what happens usually in a channel. Raise your hand, ask your question. It's an incredible opportunity to interact with that frequency, whoever it is. Okay? But the way you know it's you to ask questions, because your heart is going like this. What is that? Because it starts to interact with you. The other part is also that some of you who are easily experiencing channeling, okay, believe me, you'll be channeling after this. You will go on a whole because you get fully activated, and then there's a whole process. But what I ask you to do today, very important, you need to be only in a receiving mode. Don't interact with that out loud, especially because I really need the quietness in that place to go, because I can't get distracted while it's coming in. Then once it's in, I'm out of the way, so I'm still also adjusting, right? But please, most of your healers, most of you give so much of yourself. Today, just receive. Their love, it's like no other. Michael and I constantly, sometimes my own vessel is experiencing the love and it starts tearing. It's just unbelievable, the level of love. Let yourself feel it. Any questions? No questions. Oh, is your question? Okay. Beautiful. So that's good. Now the other part, I just want us to be really on time. We're doing good. You guys are amazing. So let's go to this StarGate. I did feel more emotional today, just embracing. I don't know what the proper words are for this to be my last StarGate working with. And when Michael and I felt to offer this to have this here in our own home, would you like to give that maybe back chair? Would you like the back chair, my sister?
Oh, no, I don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
So to have this here, we know the vortex Michael and I have created here. And we know so many of you that have come for healing. You've come to SSSs, you feel the vibration. There's been a lot of blessings that have been brought here. Just about everything is also, majority is donated. So there's a lot of love that's been given to us just so that we can be here, so we can serve. And for it to be here on this month, this 11/11 has played such a big part in my life, because the 11/11 phenomenon began for me in 1999. And I thought I was going nuts. Everywhere I looked was 11/11. I literally thought I'm losing it. What is this 11/11? 11/11 is everywhere. And that activation really took heart, but never, ever did I imagine, picture, visualize that I will be devoted to this particular StarGate, and I'll be granted to work with the golden liquid frequency, which is the Christ consciousness frequency that is to be anchored in Mother Earth's grid. That'll be assigned to that. I didn't know that till I was on the other side, and they showed me my real mission on Earth. And the work I do often is categorized, unseen, unrecognized, because it's so multidimensional, and people are accustomed to the physical outcome right there, so they don't quite see the foundation that is being laid first. So I cleared the debris, laid the foundation. This particular one is a gateway to literally, it's the access to the heaven, the heavenly realm. The heavenly realm that is in you, that you get to experience, that is in all consciousness. And what's so sacred about this one is that it really kicked off on 11/11/11. I mean, the start of it was in 1987. There's a whole lot behind this that you can look up and find through the harmonic convergence. But many of us who chose to incarnate, to come in to help Earth with the evolution of humanity's ascension back into light, we agreed to unleash the codes inside of us and become the living code. So we become the living Christed being, not what religion said. Although there's some things in there for sure, but it was diminished because it attempted to comprehend it from the mental plane. And you cannot access this StarGate, this gateway, this triple flame through your head. It's not going to give you access. You can only experience it from here. And yesterday in my live stream, I really, I said, we're going through some tough times right now. That's okay. And you might have a little bit of a hard time to really be there. But for today, the easiest way is to imagine like a little baby, a human baby, or like a baby whale, or like a baby goat, or like a baby owl, or a baby chicken, or a baby kitten, any baby animal. But see, right away you giggle. Get that fluffiness. So wait, close your eyes for a second. Picture a baby animal. Touch your heart, bring your hands to your heart. Feel it. Do you feel fluffy? Right away. Do you feel like feathery? There's something like tickling the feather of heavens of tickling your heart? Yeah? Yeah? You feel like little twinkles in your eyes? That baby? Okay, everybody can do it, right? But what's the feeling? Right away joy, right? Right away innocence, right? Right away purity, right? Can everybody right away feel it? Show me, I just want to be sure. Okay, that's the frequency for you to stay in here as we start 11/11. We go into it about 3 minutes before. Michael will start the blessing and I'll go in and I just want you to stay in there. Can you do that? Because that's the entry to a triple flame. The triple flame is the divine, the sacred divine mother, the sacred divine father, the mother of all creation, the father of all creation, the holy child. We've heard it somewhat in religion, but that's not it. It's actually a flame that is right here. There's a triple ray of light right in here. And these flames come together and boom, they open up to this pillar. So 11, you have 11, you have 11. There are 3 gateways that opens up, but it's the gateway in here that opens up and it goes from your heart to your crown. Like suddenly you're bathed in this heavenly realm, like of just pure ecstasy and beauty of love. This gateway is the StarGate of love. It's finally the tipping, right, of the humanity that we've been waiting for. Those who chose, all of us who chose to be the bringers of light. And the communities all around Earth today, all around Earth, that are coming together just like this. So our vessels become the conduit of the triple flame so that it can pour through your emotional body, passes, because once it pours through your emotional body, your mental body retracts, it relaxes back and starts to come in. Otherwise, your mental body is kind of like your protector, like this, your bodyguard for your emotional body. So wants to make sure you don't get hurt anymore. You gotta have it like, hey, calm down, have a tea, sit down, put the arms down, let's chill, let's know. Right? So we're gonna the mental body poor thing is freaking exhausted. We're gonna have it chill back. The emotional body, so then this frequency comes through you, it goes to your cells, it goes through molecules, to your atoms, your neurotransmitters, and it vibrates out in all living consciousness as one. Because this consciousness that, You have this color skin. I have this color skin. You're this religion. I'm this religion. You're from that country. It's BS, belief system. We are all God, goddess, incarnated from the qualities of divine in a form, in the most magnificent ray to just express itself. We can't hide this truth anymore. And we cannot give our attention, our sacred energy to this dense consciousness that have only created harm to us, to our families, to others, right? And to Mother Earth. Mother Earth is a living angel. She is a living angel, chose to come in. So many can come in here. There's so much more into this. So with this StarGate, as I finish this, because there's the next chapter, we've been asked to bring all the teachings, perfect. We've been asked to bring all the teachings that has been spoken through, because we don't own it. It has to become available to everyone. And we're making a book totally free. Everybody access it. We're collaborating for this to go everywhere because we're just blessed to share it, you know? So that's next. So StarGate, I won't be working with anymore. This is the last one. It's taking the toll on my system. And I'm just now ready to also just not take on that level of responsibility on the planet anymore. So I'm just a little bit more me interacting. We've been wanting to have lunch. We just spend like months, you know, like also this. They said in the next 44 years you will enjoy your human experience. It was like the first 44 years was freaking prison cell. Like I had to experience all of it, just like many of us. So this StarGate, I'm so honored beyond words to finish it here, where it began with here and it ends with here, back in Washington, D.C., where I've tried to run away for so long because I'm like, and they're like, oh no, can you bring your love to this density? So we are all here to bring our love to this grid here. So let's just be love that we are. Because we are. So we're gonna get started in just I need you guys to go to the bathroom very quickly. Whoever needs a bathroom, great, and within 2 minutes. So there's a bathroom here, there's a bathroom, and you can use that bathroom. We'll regroup back in 2 minutes because Michael is going to take you in a prayer, and you stop while I go into sounds and the transmissions coming. We'll wait for everyone. Michael, do you want to bring that over, the chair? Okay.
Say it to your
Yeah, so they know, they hear it. Okay, so let's do this relatively quickly. We'll talk later because I need us to be in the StarGate right at 11. So please just, we do all of our talks and everything afterwards. Okay, and get comfortable. If you don't have anything, so about 2 minutes as soon as possible, please, would be great. Get your waters and whatever you need. Sorry, sweetie, I'm going to bring this here. Pardon? And let us just remain in that sound. Okay. And final thing, just no interaction out loud with the frequency, please, because I don't want it to kick me out of it and for me have to come back here. Other than the question where you'll know when to address that. Michael knows. Michael will navigate through that. Okay.
We also have nuts just afterwards. I think
yeah, you have to anchor your. Just 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, let us please group. So we can start. We have about good 4 minutes.
If you're distracted by how she's yeah. So just be open and receive the
One picture when I'm behind here. Okay, perfect. Can you take one also? Can you just take one?
Yeah, I know. You might want to what you can do is maybe cut the windows a little.
And let us really, please just get ready, be in your heart space, because it's really important, because it does require your frequency to be present and here. How are you?
I know, that's great.
And finally, the last thing I'd like to share, this behind me is the display of the Fembed oracles. My dear sacred galactic brother Stephen Morley created these. These are between 7 to 12 dimensional frequencies that they start vibrating. They already began from last night into the room. And each of them is him when he's in movement, is still photography, that the transmissions were able to be brought through. And I worked so closely with him. So we were able to, his purpose on the planet, he's one of the very rare male individuals that is able to bring a 7th dimensional frequency onto the planet. And through the art, he's able to put it in. So these, we've had experience with people when I go into the channel and they're in their space, they start seeing this in the room. If you do enjoy them, they're incredible. They have a lot of wisdom. Each of them have a particular message. They carry certain, they're all part of the wisdom kingdom. So they bring a lot of that presence. But those of you who are more multidimensional, you'll be definitely able to see them. They're very tall. They're about 20 feet tall. So you'll see them you experience the gigantic presence, and often they're movement. They like dancing. So if you see them, it's them. They're here. So don't be surprised at all about it. Michael, am I leaving anything?
I would just say this. When the channel happens, don't be surprised or don't feel uncomfortable. If you feel tired, if you feel pressure.
Because it may yawning a lot.
Activate you, so don't feel weird if something happens physically. Just go with it. It's not going to do anything bad to you. Even if you feel a little pressure in your head, even if you feel a little like, wow, there's energy moving, just trust that this is the highest good for all. Get comfortable. If the chair doesn't feel good, then move the chair. Whatever you feel to be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, get yourself comfortable.
Whatever you feel, in that. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. If you want to watch, however you can do. But the most important thing, as Honey said, is just to receive.
Yeah.
Because this is a gift for all of us. And each person that's here has been called to receive this message. Remember, as foreign, strange, weird, out there, exotic, mysterious, magical, illuminated awakening this experience is, you are called to receive it because you are here.
And be in the receiving mode. Try not to cross your legs as best as you can. It's best if you don't, And the other part is, you may feel tingling, you may feel like things, you may feel like a little bit of that. All of this is part of it. We'll talk about it after. If I'm back in my body, I get to close up with you again and talk about it. If I'm not, please let me be, and you just gently close up. Yeah. gently close up and you go. And today, unfortunately, is not the day that I can mingle with you. I miss all of you. So many of you want to interact, but it's just not quite that space for it. We'll catch up later. And when you leave, please ground your energy. We put a bag of raw nuts for you. You have to ground before you get in your car and drive, and be more in an inward space. Be in nature, really be in because there are things that are trickling through you. There will be impurities that will release from you. There's a lot of healing that takes place on multiple dimensional fields in your life. It happens in physically, emotionally, mentally, etherically, spiritually, and it does place in your life. So I have been so blessed to hear from people when they've been in the transmission. They're like, oh my God, honey, this has happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. We constantly hear it. It's because you were ready for it. You were called to it. You were just receptive. Let your life expand to the true essence that it is. A lot of these blockages are just impurities that has been the separation from your divinity. And you didn't even create it, I have to say. Okay? So just let yourself be. I'm not going to bite. I'll be loud a little bit till I get there, and we'll see who comes in. And believe me, I always receive too. My vessel and sometimes gets so tired because it needs to just rest, because it's been, Do we have anything? Are the phones off?
All phones are off. Everyone feels like the bladder's been drained.
See my owl socks? Owl socks again. Yes.
So if we need to use the bathroom,
You need to use the bathroom.
If you need to, I really prefer if you go now, so you can stay.
If I need to during.
Yeah, if you need to,
If you
then
need to,
slowly,
obviously,
just slowly go, as
And-
quiet as you can
Don't
be.
flush the toilet.
Yes, okay. Let me use
And
the bathroom.
we always say that there's one upstairs and downstairs, but we've also opened our private bedroom to bathroom because we know there's a larger crowd here today. So either or, the closest one is out, probably being the frequency is where all the shoes are in our
So there's one right here.
There's one right here. We usually don't open that up because obviously that's our bedroom.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but we know there's a large amount of people here, so we want to make sure
So which one
everyone's
do you prefer?
probably our bedroom one because the stairs kind of squeaks a little.
Oh, I
so
see.
you so feel free, we cleaned it. It's all nice and another important thing for you guys to do is just relax and breathe through it, because there's this tendency, because we don't know what's going to happen. There is this unknown, and we fear the unknown in the mental frame. So just to breathe, relax, and just to feel the energy, because just by all of us being here together is pretty darn powerful, as you can feel what we're doing right now. We're just going to rise it up to the next vibration. And you know that all you guys can feel that vibration and have the strength to receive it, because there's no accident. Yes.
Can we close the window now?
Sure, yeah, we can close it now, yes. Yeah, I know we cooled it. We want to just bring the heat down a little.
Yeah, it does
so
get heated.
It does get a little
It gets
warm. And if
really
you
heated.
feel like you're getting hot, feel free to discard, to your comfort of what you need. And then anything else, my love, before.
It's very interesting. I don't know how clear it will be, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm still just a little bit of the cough is left in my system. So, my template has been quite updated for this StarGate, and we'll see if they need to adjust. They'll adjust
They
them.
always do that. They always do. Ready?
Okay, so yeah, you can put that there. I'll get ready.
Okay. Let us all close our eyes. Place our hands directly over our chest.
Just one second. Does anybody have any question? Does anybody have any question personally from me or Michael before the channel? Anything you need to know? I'd rather you ask me now, so you can relax back rather than your head going. Yes.
You have a beautiful accent. Where are you originally from?
Oh, I came through the portal of Iran in this
incarnation.
Yeah, that
Thank
gateway.
you.
Yeah.
I'm peaceful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Any questions, really?
It's a good question.
That's a good question. Anybody else? You're releasing. Any question? None. Yes,
Okay.
Kelly? No? Okay. Okay. All good? Okay, we'll do this. It's an honor. It's a privilege. Remember, fluffy baby, maybe even baby butterfly. Boy. Boy, baby horse. Whatever baby it is. Have fun, enjoy. I'll speak with you after, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. And if you want to leave your eyes open, you can see, but if you don't, doesn't matter. Just close your eyes here between what is being said. Stay present. Yeah.
I
Yes.
just thought of something.
Yeah.
And I was trying to recall from last time. Like after you're done, I know you attend to Honey. Like, what's best for us to do? Like, kind of stay, or will you
Good
direct
question.
us?
So what will happen? I will go ahead and transition of whatever's happening here. If she's in a state, I'll just come to do the closing. She's in a state that she's not participatory, then just leave her where she's at, and I will close. I will bring a transition into where we're heading next. Don't be alarmed. Don't feel what she's doing, because we've all gone. Well, I've gone through this before. And as she just comes back, just stay in the vibration, and I'll bring that vibration into a transition. I feel personally, the more Honey has been going through this, she comes back with us. It's faster. So what I'll do is I'll lead into however she comes back, and
That's interesting.
go from there.
We have a prayer. Interesting. Space of light. Space of light. Oh, good.
Yes, you're up.
Oh, she was late. I know. Okay. All right. So much love. See you all afterwards.
Yeah.
Enjoy whoever. Yeah. Thank you.
Let us take a deep breath in through our nose. Exhale through our mouth. Breathing into our heart. Exhaling out. And feeling within the heart this beautiful pulse, this beautiful love that radiates through each breath in and each breath out. Feeling the joy, the peace, and the connection of each breath as we bring forth this beautiful gift of life in and life out. Visualizing the diamond within our heart, expanding all around us, allowing this beautiful frequency of peace, light, and love expand as this energy moves through our breath in and our breath out. Feeling our diamond frequency expand all around in great light, in great love, in great protection of light shimmering and shining as we move this all the way through each body, connecting us to our sacred Mother Earth as we feel the roots ground us, connecting us, feeling this support feeling this level of complete divine connection. In great honor, we thank our Mother Earth, our beautiful elements of fire, earth, water, and air, as we connect to our dear sacred planet on this powerful gateway. Breathing in the energy of Mother Earth and feeling this recharge, revitalization, as we allow our frequency to expand to the stars, to the heavens above, in great honor of our dear star sisters, star brothers, our wonderful councils and orders. We are grateful and blessed by the dear angels, the ascended masters, the Elohim. We give great honor to our wonderful directions around us as we honor the direction of the east, and honoring our little child, the direction of the south, and honoring our teenager, the direction of the west, and honoring our adult, the direction of the north, and honoring our elder, the direction above, and honoring Great Spirit, the direction below, and honoring our sacred Mama Earth, the direction within as we honor our heart, our love, the most powerful source of energy that we breathe in and breathe out. Feeling this love, feeling this innocence, feeling this purity with each breath as we inhale, connecting ourselves between heaven and earth in the divine magnificence of what we are. Breathing in that magnificence, that illumination of light, that blessing that we are here as one on this divine gateway to honor, respect, and fully appreciate this love, this light, and our beautiful ancestors and beings that are here in great honor. As we breathe in and as we breathe out, we thank the highest good of all, the pyramid of light to be placed upon us in great protection and honor, in great divinity of light, that the highest good is now being transmitted through us, around us, within us.
Oh. Oh, greetings. Oh, I am Lord Lanto, the keeper of illumination, flame, and wisdom of the second ray of light. Greetings, beloved hearts. It is of such joy to be with you today as we, through the temples of the ray of light, are in celebration of the humanity that has chosen to live in the mastery through the true representation of the colors of the rays that they are mastering in their human incarnation. I come before you today to speak through this medium as she has been awoken to her illumination, wisdom, and the ray of the Christ cosmic consciousness. As many of you are also allowing yourself to be the conduit of the second ray of the many masters that walk through your earth, such as your beloved Jesus the Christ, Buddha, Siddhartha, Confucius, Digital Cool, and many others, as I have been the keeper of the flame of illumination of wisdom on your planet since my ascension into the light. And I continuously have walked with the Mahakawan radiancy of the light and my fellow keepers of the rays of light to help support those of you who are working on your ascension. As you depart this earth plane, passing through the temples of illumination, you will enter the mastery realm and you will be working with us one-on-one. I was able to incarnate into your earth plane in your 12th century. And I was referred as the Yellow Emperor in the Great China. Before I reincarnated again and again until I brought forth the Confucius teachings from the Far East that carry the wisdom of peace that has influenced your Buddha and many others that came before us. I am here today as the keeper of the flame of the yellow ray to help your crown open up to the Christ consciousness, to the golden yellow ray of illumination of wisdom that brings you peace. Peace comes from the state of your mind that is in harmony with its divine essence. The divine essence is in the heart and mind of God, which is your birthright in which you have come into. Do you realize, beloved ones that have gathered today, many of you have been incarnated from the former civilization of Atlantis as well as Lemuria? Do you recall when I was in Lemuria, those of you who were with us? In Lemuria, before the cataclysmic event took place, we were asked to be the keepers of the flames of the temples so we can help humanity's ascension. I, Lord Lanto, took the flame of illumination of wisdom and took it into the North America, in the temple of Tetron in the mountains of Wyoming. So those that wish can continue first with the Christ light here on this continent can fully expand throughout earth. Through those of you that will incarnate back on this land to bring the true peace and love that you come from back on earth. The illumination ray of the wisdom on Christ's heart is a gift that helps calm the human mind and allow the divine mind to emanate as one. I ascended by the mastery of this schooling in which I was asked to incarnate and bring the ray of the yellow flame onto the earth planet. You must realize you too have had this flame fully ignited in your presence. However, when the opposing energies, in contrast to the heart and mind of God, decided to turn off your heart flame, to dim it, they also dim your DNA. They also dim your 12 chakras, in which you incarnated only with the 7. And in due time, as you clear your mental and emotional and physical bodies into the purity and replacing the first step of your ascension with the will of God through the blue flame, that, beloved, and MEMOIR helps many of you that call upon His presence. You are able to carry the opening of the yellow ray through the expansion of your crown and begin an activation of the yellow flame in your vessel only the ancient wisdom of your divine original blueprint becomes the only truth that you resonate. You have been loved, dear beloved hearts, as we and the Mahakal Regency and the Great White Brotherhood of Light, together with the rays of light and the councils of light, through the power of Omega and Alpha, unneglected sun and the central sun, we support your inner sun illumination through your heart that knows how to navigate through this earth by the power of the grace of your omnipresence love in which you are. I am so grateful to be able to interact with you today as I honor and extend my ray of yellow flame into your heart so you can be free from the burdens of your life that has blocked the purity of the yellow radiance of the cosmic flame of Christ consciousness that you are. You are so loved, beloved, dear, human form in your courageous action of embodiment on earth to bring the ray of yellow illumination in the density consciousness. How brave you are, dear heart. You are referred as the dear heart because it is your dear heart that has the majestic access to the omnipresence of the divine quality that you are. I, Lord Lando, am honored to invite you to my temple within the mountains of Wyoming to be greeted in my yellow fire of wisdom to be restored into your cellular construct. I welcome you to visit my temple of illumination, where you can place your hands on the gigantic citrine etheric crystal, the most spectacular etheric crystal you will ever see. Place your hand, place your heart on this majestic crystal that has the flame of the yellow ray, and let all the shame and embarrassment, let the hurt deep in your heart be held by the fire so it can be free by its own light of love, so it never prisons you any longer, dear heart. I carry the staff of knowledge, the wisdom, as the overseer for those who wish to enter their own gateway of Christed, crystalline heart. I am here to support. So you can then enter the temple of the cosmic love in the pink ray in which Paul the Venetian supports you. I will be honored to address any burning flame question you may have, dear heart. Greetings.
Greetings. What do you all see as the best medium for me to have my message heard to others?
It is a pleasure to interact with you and to help you in your remembering in the vessel in which is designed to carry the light of love is the medium in which you can deliver the message of divine. You must realize it is of service that you choose to honor, in which the message will be delivered through you, but not by you. Is that recognized? You, with a heart that's so grand, you know the gift of your mercy is the gift of your loving dear, don't you? May you have mercy on all that need it today. Allow that flame of yours to emanate that each and every hour of your awakened walk on this planet, my dear. Thank you. Please address your question with authority of your sacred heart so I can stand and address that in which you are seeking, dear heart.
Yes. What is my next step in my gift to be working now here on the earth?
The gift of this now belongs to all of you. When you realize the gift of you is the same gift with others, you draw no more separation of you with another, my dear. That beautiful heart of yours knows the power of love. And as you draw it close into the truth of the fullness of you, you will serve the walk of your earth as you hold your head up high and your heart even higher. As my dear, you no longer have to fear. You are a free being. The gifts that you seek have always been seeking you. You must trust that you are enough, and you've always been the glorious, victorious presence of the I Am in form. Thank you. Greetings.
My heart is pounding, and I don't know what this question means, but I'm supposed to ask it anyway.
Please, I ask you to breathe that trust and speak from your heart freely. My ray of light from my heart will hold you, beloved.
What is the northeast direction?
Do you bow to the sunrise, my dear? When you see the sun coming from the horizon, do you bow to that presence? Yes, no?
No.
I welcome you to be in the presence of the golden sun as it rises from the horizon, and stand before it in the golden sunrise to know the power of the northern and the eastern that opens you to your galactic sun. Thank you.
Greetings.
Greetings, beloved. How may I serve you?
What is the most powerful tool to transmute the lower vibration?
I will allow you to answer that. My dear, you know this one so well. Why must you hide that which you already know? Let me be your student.
Love.
I will invite you to speak with authority of knowing. You are affirming that in a question as if you doubt, but you already know. May I ask you to rise, dear one? I ask you to rise in your resurrection flame from the ashes that you have arisen, and speak the truth to us fellow students. What is it that you know is the most powerful transformation?
To offer love where it is missing.
And how do you offer love to where it is missing?
To go into that dark space and to retrieve, and rise with love.
Are you speaking of the abyss, of the black hole, of the universal consciousness that holds all the keys, where the light of divine spark is seen? Is that not within your vast genetic makeup of the composition of the star dust that you are from?
I hope to learn more about
And you shall remember, dear one, as you are a being so bright, beautiful, bountiful, here in the same composition of the stars to radiate. Only your love. Thank you. Thank you for standing up and answer the question that you always have known within. In this moment, I would like to invite the humans on earth in this global gathering on earth to gather, to just gather, to allow the yellow ray to come through your crown today. Breathe it in. Let my love of the ray of the yellow flame of illumination tingle its way through joy and peace and ease into the gateway of your crown, entering into your beautiful garden, into your brain, into your throat, into your shoulders and your arms, into your lungs, and breathe within the pulse of your heart, and your torsos, and your rest of your human form. It is a funny form you're walking in, and we feel for you. There's much to learn how to operate such majestic system that is a miracle in your terms each and every day. You have forgotten how to operate such majestic machinery beyond your comprehension, because the oil of illumination of love has not been given to it. I ask for this flame of wisdom, the golden flame of illumination, enter in your vessel, anointing you with the dazzling ray of the yellow flame. And may you generously expand it all to this beautiful earth that has been constructed by the Galactic Federation of Light to be a jewel in the universe in this dimension where the many conflicts in the star system can also be played out here. So the cosmic question light can expand in all universes. You must realize how far you have traveled to be here at this time, and we before you hold you, assist you with your ascension into the light as you will join us and we move further working with the ascended masters as they will move into the next octave, and this creates the dance of the universe. Your northern America is a sacred ground composed of the wisdom of both Lemuria and Atlantis. The highest evolution of humanity's consciousness has walked on this platform, stored within the mountains and the rivers and the crystalline field, to bring forth, when the time was right, the brightest, most courageous flames of Christed hearts in form, to restore the balance of truth, omnipresence, true mind and heart of God on earth, free from the bondages of the lower dimensional degree that's been separated from the mother and the father source. We only see beauty in the being that you are. We stand before the illumination, holding the victorious presence of the I Am. And me as the yellow ray to assist you in your destination, in the heart flame. We embrace this global light show on your earth today, as we have never left our trust behind, that those of you that chose to incarnate will serve the divine plan in the ascension of Earth by the power of your Christed, illuminated. As the yellow emperor when I walked upon earth, I brought forth the wisdom from the keepers of the yellow flame, inspired the convictions that took over the land, as peace is your innate essence, caused by the liberation of your mind and soul from the embodiment of the illumination of your Christed form. Together, you will rise as you have many times. We will depart together with beloved MEMOIR, Paul the Venetian, greet Paul the Venetian, as they stand next to me with Saint Germain, Lord Hilarion, Surface Wave, Sananda Lady Nada, and I before you as one ungoverned presence of the Mahakohan Regency, assisting the government of your earth with all beings of light coming into positions to lift the density where the original governing rules by the principles of truth and illumination, and for the love of all as one will be restored upon your earth. It is a great honor that I had the rare opportunity in coming through this vessel today, as she was not able to fully receive me as I had attempted to speak through her before. I thank this woman in your earth consciousness as this golden moment has been the tipping point in many of your masters that walked on earth, as they were initiates of the second ray for those who chose to serve on behalf of divine. In gratitude of the rays of light and the great white brotherhood of light and the leaders of light, I embrace each of you in my heart of love. May you be dazzled by the grace of divine that holds and carries you into the one as one. I am complete.
Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling the energy of your sacred breath, of this sacred gratitude in this moment, in this blessing, in this wisdom of great remembrance and allowance of the highest power of love to be brought forward in our breath, in our belief, and in our creation in each moment. Let us breathe this in. And breathe it out. Allowing, opening, and feeling this sacred energy move through our body with each breath in and each breath out. Feeling this gratitude of love, this most special day that we are here as one in celebration. In complete joy and happiness to receive. As we breathe this in and breathe this out. In great thanks to your devotion and dedication to being here. In great respect to yourself, in great honor for taking this precious moment to recognize how magnificent you are, how precious you are, and how infinite in potential you are in this creation. Let us breathe that love in. And let us just focus in that peace of breath, in that peace of mind, in that peace of heart. Breathing this in and breathing it out. Allowing this expansion and gift to fully integrate and fully emerge.
Hi everyone, I'm back. Almost. It's like a landing back. Sometimes it's rough landing, sometimes it's easier landing. So these are some of the technical things of still being worked on, like getting adjusted and coming back, and my physical, like my consciousness is back. The presence has far left gone, and however my physical body just adjusting back to being back, just back, because what happens, it gets very tight, because I don't really know what happens to my body when the presence comes in and it gets so then anyway, how's everyone doing? Yeah, well, good message.
How are we feeling? Would anyone like to share? Would anyone like to just bring forth?
I'm just in awe, like just I guess feeling the energy of the presence and like the love. It was Lord who I couldn't.
Lanto.
Okay. Right. Just the love that he was radiating to the room was like very overwhelming to me and touching. So.
You could feel it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Like a moment where I'm watching the two of you, and I met you at an 11:11 Gateway.
That's right.
3 years ago, and shortly after the two of you met, and I'm just watching him work on you, and I know that this is all happening because of the unity between the two of you. So I'm just feeling gratitude that you two have found each other and stayed the course so that we could have this experience just now. And I love you both so much.
Thank you. I do need a little repair work afterwards. I feel like I'm an airplane. I go and come back.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Body work.
Yeah.
I think that's a part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we work together.
Beautiful unity.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any out of this body?
I'm just so impressed, or like just overwhelmed. I'm at a loss for words of just how gracious and just huge. I can't even speak for them, but the to
The
be in that
presence.
presence and just to feel the love and feel the gratitude and feel what they have to share with us and for us is just amazing.
It's truly incredible. It's hard to put into words unless you're in the experience of it. Then it's just the direct experience. And I only get to feel the vibration and see the imagery constantly. And I'll explain to you what was happening on my end. I'm so honored. I've never had Lord Lanta speak through me. That was the first time. I remember it was in France last day. My vessel couldn't handle it then, you know.
And for those that are interested, these are the 7 koan rays of light, each having a temple, each having an initiation, and each of you having an experience with it.
I've had a lot of experiences in this temple in dream state. That's where you really go, and all of the temples. I'm at the last temple, passed through these initiations, and it's truly an honor to interact with him then, but interact in this presence is just awe and wow. Like it's very much the frequency of Yeshua. It's very much the frequency of, it's very, very similar Buddha and Yeshua frequency, which is incredible. I'm so honored. For those of who else? Anybody else? Was it a question here?
Yeah, both.
No. Oh, okay.
That's what you said here.
I feel it's really the transformation of love that we have been talking about. And to really realize that it's not something that we feel, it's something that we are. It's something that it's inside of us all the time. And we just need to open up and expand that to our body and our consciousness.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you say that, Ziza, because when did the presence feel really big? It felt very big to me. Was it really overwhelmingly big? I feel one of the things that I learned, thank you. I feel one of the things that I've learned is when the presence comes in, it starts to come through the frequency, but it's the same presence that we already are. I feel it is overwhelming because we ourselves are so overwhelmed by our own presence. We don't know how to handle our light because it's so gigantic, but it's the same one. And it has the same magnitude and power. And I can only speak of it once I've opened up myself to this like a transmission come in. I've been able to be so taken, and it is mind-blowing, heart blasting, like, this is inside of me. So this presence is inside of you. You know, and I feel that's what's overwhelming. There's no separation. And they come to help blast us. So we're just open vessel of this, you know?
And I'd like to add a very powerful message that I felt in this personally is our mental body can't conceptually understand the power of light that's shining through us. And because we're in such dense bodies, especially through worry, stress, fear, anxiety, helplessness, hopelessness, all the things that the mental body goes through, it can't understand the amount of light we radiate because we're in this human body. And one of the biggest pieces in this moment is to really raise our awareness that we are much bigger than we possibly think. Like if we can draw a circle, we make ourselves little Which a lot of us just look at this little figure. We are beyond this room in light. And when powerful beings come in, they help remind us.
Was there that experience that was there, because what I was experiencing, thinking, Michael, because this ties into what you're saying, what I was seeing was that it's like as if, okay, you know how you, everything is imagery. So best I can say, you know how you have, as a child, you have those blow bubbles, the little blow bubbles? Okay, have you seen the new blow bubbles? You know that, like, okay. So what I was seeing there was this yellow ray coming in. There was a yellow ray pouring in, and it was like from what I was seeing was like these little bubbles, these little ones were like this expanding. Did any of you have an experience of like expansion? You did, Licia? How many? Let me just see, just by hands. Okay, so, okay, Licia, what were you going to say?
I felt that the spirit was beyond ancient.
Yeah.
Like timeless, but so ancient.
Yeah.
I felt the energy.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
And then towards the middle and the end, my chest was overwhelmingly tight. Like I felt like there was so much trying to get out.
Yeah.
It was so small. Like
It couldn't
so
house
hard to
it.
breathe.
Right.
And I couldn't even move my hands.
Yeah.
It's like it was like concrete.
Yeah.
So hard to breathe because it was like
Yeah.
so small.
I understand. I fully understand. Yeah. Thank you, Nat.
There was a funny moment because they were recognizing that our bodies were so limited,
Yeah.
and they even they were saying allow it to come through the brain, the torso, and all the parts. The human body is so funny. I feel for you.
Yeah.
You could tell they were kind of scanning
Because when
and they
it's
were like,
coming
"This is
in,
strange."
yeah, because it's through me too. So when the presence come in, it starts going, like, let's say it's about 10 feet in my outer field. It starts to come in and starts getting hit so the vibration is so open, right? And it starts getting denser and denser the closer it comes in, because this is the densest, because it's just been put together so it can be the human form. And that presence, it's just it's not so freeing, because it's so like, oh, because that's why movement is so important. So this, your own higher self can freely be flowing through you. Otherwise it's too rigid. So when it's coming through me, it's like, oh, and there've been times we've had the Andromedan High Council couldn't stand coming through me. It had maybe a 5-minute message. It's like, oh, it looks at it like as, because it's not carrying as much light, you see. Like it's exactly like, imagine a gold, right? A piece of gold that's got so much, I don't know, like dirt and dust on it. It's like, it's supposed to shine, and anyway. I'm curious, Michelle and Linda, because you know me the longest, I mean, like 7 years ago here. What was it like for you? I'm very curious.
Well, it was expansive, and I felt a lot of real energy amongst all of us.
Yeah.
But interestingly, when I opened my eyes, light was shining through that little hole onto the bracelet you made me, the crystals, and all rainbows were all over me.
I mean,
so like, oh my!
You had a massive healing on from the. It's the 7 rays, is the rainbows.
The energy, beautiful, big, strong, spirit.
Well, good, so you finally got to see it. Yeah. Thank you. Linda?
For me, it was
very magical. I felt that the wisdom, the ancient wisdom that was coming through was a beautiful reminder that we are the cause of our own limits. Like we have to expand our own self and see and guide with light and love and reserve the density for the past. See something
Totally.
much lighter for the future.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you
And,
so
and
much.
one thing I always want to share, because I have this personally sometimes if I'm in a Qigong class and you're like, wow, I felt this. And there's someone in the class, well, I didn't feel anything. And what's wrong with me? And
Was
just-
anybody that had no experience? Really?
And
Okay.
the reason I share that is because we all are a different consciousness. And whatever happened to us is exactly what happened to us. And sometimes the mind wants to conceptually judge, reflect what we're not doing enough, why we're not there, what's happening to me at the moment, what's happening to my brain, why am I feeling this emotion, is only normal. So just to remember, whatever happened or didn't happen was perfect for you at this moment. And not to go home and be like, well, I really want to feel something bigger, or I didn't get the full experience, or maybe I'm just not ready, and man, I can't believe it happened. Remember, everyone is feeling exactly what they are, and this vibration is going to keep expanding through today.
It's a beginning. Once you interact with this frequency, those of you that you know there's a channel in you, you will blast open in your channeling. This happened to me. This happened to many that have come. But that becomes your training, how to be in your body, how to really just start navigating through this. I know a few of you. And also another thing, thank you, Michael. Another thing was some of you, majority of you, what was happening in my experience was, so when I'm there, I'm also in a multidimensional space. So the records, there's so much that is there. And it is very ancient. It's a very ancient being. But this ancient being is interacting with so many of you that are super ancient. And you can be honest, how many of you feel like, my God, I am an ancient freaking soul? Go ahead. Yeah. You're like, seriously, right? So one of the things from what I captured, Lord Lanto, I just so that I don't choose who comes in, just so that you know, it's chosen who will come in. Up until this, I haven't been able to have him speak through until this moment. Am I surprised? No. Is it timely? Yes. Is it like, it makes always perfect sense. But the ancient ones, they have, the great masters have said, the ancient ones that had walked on earth will be returning to bring their ancient wisdom, technology back. You are a walking technology. And so your innate, natural, perfect technology is being reactivated and is being asked to be brought forth. If you're having challenges, let's say with some work, BS, relationships, friendships, this is anything that is coming up for review to get out of your way, is because it's not part of the ancient you that is this grand. Some of you have forgotten. You've been Buddha. You have been Sunat Kumar. At that level, you have walked this earth. And I know deep inside of you, you know this, but you're like, oh, I don't want to claim it like that again. No. Too bad. You're going to have to claim it, not outward, but here is ownership. Because it's the call of service. The coins of the ray of light support us that are of service. And the greatest part of Ascension is when you pass the sixth temple, the temple of resurrection, which is the service. And that's what Yeshua did. That's what Mary Magdalene is. That's what Buddha did. That's what, Dr. Martin Luther King did. Bob Marley did. Mother Teresa did. It's a true passion of service. How many of you know inside of you, like, I am here to serve? I mean, look at us. But we can't serve it if we're hiding behind ourselves. And I'm so grateful to that came through. I'm so humble. I'm going to be sitting with this for a little while, just because I can feel my inside still shaking, still like, my gosh, what a presence, what a love that really already is, and together, this is the magnitude of the power. Were all of you able to stay in that baby little, whatever baby, were you? Okay, then were you able to receive like tingling? Who was having tingling? Okay, perfect. Who was having like waves going through it? What colors?
Yeah.
Purple, yeah.
In terms of turquoise.
Yeah. Who saw Saint Germain here and Moria here?
So at the end.
Moria was here.
Mm-hmm.
It came out
And
towards the end.
Venetian.
Moria and Saint Germain. Yeah.
And then,
I saw Yeshua showed up.
Yeah.
And I could feel transmissions.
Yeah. Where did you see Yeshua? Because he was way back here.
I saw him actually walked up.
Okay.
And I like it when he shows up because he always kisses me.
Yeah.
And so he always
kisses here often. Yeah. That's what
on
he
my
does.
head. And then a lot of more was able to come in, I think, after that.
Yeah.
And I also had a very interesting image of a yellow
golden ball.
Yes, but it was geometric.
Yeah.
And looked solid, but not solid.
Yeah.
And on the inside, it was a crystal with yellow fire in it.
Yeah, the fire. Perfect. You saw it. This is very important. I'm so glad, because that's his like orb energy that starts working with you. Bring it into your crown, bring it into your third eye, bring it into your throat, bring it into your heart, bring it, let it purify, clear, whatever, because that's the way when you go into its temple, you're able to experience the crystal. I don't know if he talked about the crystal or anything. It's incredible. Like it's about like something like, I don't know, 45 feet of this gigantic different yellow ray of crystals in the etheric. It's incredible. But you can easily in meditation go there, and dream state go there, and you experience a lot. Excellent. You experience the four. It's good. With that, also bring it into you and allow your entire field to be covered by this. It's truly like did you feel a blanket of like velvety blanket that was just holding you? Yeah, by that present. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
For me, I saw my baby. And the baby started growing on the stage, and got in here and take the old dog.
Oh, excellent. So the inner child is a huge part of this as well.
Yeah.
Because it's the innocence. The return of the innocence allows you to be free. Allows you to be free from the conditions of your own mind. Thank you for that.
Tomorrow is my birthday.
Oh, that's right. By the way, this is very important. Zeza's birthday tomorrow. Last 3 years we've been on.
No.
Several
5
years. 5 years we've been together on 11. So just to celebrate this incredible gateway. So happy solar return on
Los
this.
Angeles.
I know.
And I just want to give a personal thanks, Dahlia, for standing up and expressing what came through you, because I felt that took a lot of courage, a lot of strength, and a lot of devotion. And it was wonderful how, like many masters, they have a very playful side. And that playful side.
You asked question?
It was a beautiful question, but what Lord Lanto did was like, "Wow, you already know the answer." And she said, "I would like you to stand up." And I know there's a portion where it's a bigger one for all of us, because a lot of our own questions, we have the answer within. It's just that it's that validation or that energy. And so you did a powerful, beautiful job to stand up and just to be in that frequency, because that honor really, I feel, gives the courage and strength for us to realize it's already there. We just have to sometimes tell ourselves that. And so you did a really good job.
You. So what was experiencing was there was a coiled how do I want to say, there was a coiled energy like this that sort of like shortening light, if you want to call it, best I can say. So the staff of Lord Lanto was used to help it rise like its staff, and this cord started unwinding and rising, kind of like a serpent, if you want to call it, like a cosmic serpent, like that, like this. So that was you. Oh wow,
you did a powerful job.
So I don't know what took place. I'm only experiencing imagery. Then I'll watch later what was said.
Recently, in a lot of the healings, a golden serpent has come to be a part of the work, and so you're saying that.
That's the cosmic mother serpent, very powerful, because she helps shed everything from our earth experience, path. She literally, and she works a lot with the teenager. All of those teenager issues you got, the golden mother serpent wraps her coil of light like this and transform everything back into the cosmos and frees you. Beautiful. She's incredible. Thank you. Yes.
Well, just on that note, I'm glad that y'all brought up snakes, because when you were, it's like, think about like cuddly baby animals. I mean, I thought about like being hatched from an egg as a snake. And but not as like a scary snake, but like adventure. Like I know what to do.
Yeah.
Like I have everything whole, perfect, and complete to go off and live this adventure, and I have all the tools to gather from the universe everything that I need. I don't need any mom, father. Just they brought me here. I hatched it.
Look at that.
So every time you kept saying Kelly, I was like, I had the image of a snake when you said think of baby animal, like a snake being hatched. So I was thinking. I was like, I want to put that in this space when everybody's like, cuddling. But then I was just sitting there thinking that, and you brought up the snake and you said something about the serpent. So
I'm glad you said, but see, there's the human consciousness that is such a sacred animal.
No worries. Transformation.
The power of the serpent, right?
And a snake does mean transformation. So transformation happens in many different ways.
I love it. But see, what are we talking about?
Because the serpent is transformation.
I thank you so much for bringing that up. Let me just address this. Where there is power is being feared. It's perfect. A snake, a serpent has such power in it. But the medicine in a lot of indigenous, it's part of the shamanic healing, because they have such value for the presence of snake, but also, unfortunately, through the powers that do not want our light to fully radiate and shine, where there is an element or something that represents true power is been dimmed to be devil and evil and dark in so many, and often unfortunately brought by religions, because how do we control true divine power? Let's bring fear into it, right? If you look at it, one of the churches Michael and I went to in Italy, in Cervo, there's this beautiful church, right? And here we go, there's the picture of Mary, supposedly Mary Magdalene, right? That she stepped on the snake. Now she's a apostle, because her sins were washed. It couldn't be further from, there's been a lot of programming around that snake, because of course some of the coaches talk about like Kundalini. I just put that away. It's the energy from Mother Earth that is your innate energy that transforms and sheds all old debris that takes you to the universal consciousness of life. And it's the cosmic mother serpent. She is the divine mother out of love, but it's been so feared. I talked so openly about the dragons, our experience with dragons. Incredible, but people are like, oh, because they're associated with dark or like reptilians or draconic. No, they're exactly angels. They work with angels. They're here to support us. So thank you for bringing it. But it was timely what you said that, because Zeze comes from a family of so much power that's been diminished by the power of their true goddess. Is it surprise? No.
And it's so funny saying that. My touch come, my mommy, it's absolutely
scared of a snake.
and
Transmutation.
I dreamed a couple nights ago or a couple weeks ago, this is snake.
Yeah.
Came and say, here, a snake.
Yeah.
And I was telling my friend, oh, a snake is probably. She's like, no, it's something. But what's the snake everywhere?
The golden snake.
And it couldn't be more timely, because even when something breaks or we drop a glass, it's like transformation happens. So watch what happens. Like if something happens and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so bad, I broke this. You're like, wait a minute.
Like,
transformation happens. So we're talking about transformation. And if no one saw, Zeze was just kind of leaning over.
Gently. Let me go into the altar.
I get blessed by the altar, because I'm going to go directly into the altar and transform it.
Because aren't we all little eggs hatching, coming out to be free, to gently glide on Mother Earth, right? Yeah, it's perfect. You were going to say something, my dear.
Yeah, I'll just share what I experienced when, after the questions were asked, and I felt like my question was so specific to me.
Okay.
I thought I won't ask it, but I asked it.
Okay.
And then when it's talking about bringing the energy in, I felt this liquid fire, like the intelligence of liquid, the intelligence within the liquid golden fire.
Yes.
Come in, and I've been doing a lot of work with healing my etheric and astral bodies, and so it went in and it was doing this healing, and then also imparting all this information to me about what I needed to know, and removing some stuff.
Yes.
And also about its relationship to the back of my neck, my ears, and my inner vision, and my heart, and so just so much love and intelligence, and it's like I just feel it in my cells, in my body.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We ask because it helps us, and know this is just the beginning. Once you've been in this presence, it starts working with you. Open yourself in your meditation, open to the flame, because that's also a flame that we call it, it's a burning flame, because it burns what is not part of this divinity, transforms it into light.
Off the back, like ash.
Yes,
falling off, like
that's right. It just starts like this, goes away. Exactly. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, my dear.
Yeah, so just being in the crowd, I was a little distracted.
Yeah.
Because of course there was like lights and stuff going on, so I wanted to close my eyes, and then it became more vivid.
Yeah.
And but then I wanted to also listen.
Yes.
But then when I closed my eyes, I had other like sounds.
Yes.
And you think you're hearing voices and you're seeking out. So I was distracted with trying to interpret.
Yeah.
What was coming to me, like not, and then also listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Physical.
Yeah.
So just being a participant, I don't know what's a more powerful way of showing up, or do you just kind of allow whatever's coming and then shut it off and be present, or do you just kind of like, okay, well, if it's time for me to go into my own personal, like receive another message on a different level, do I go there? And juggling that, I think I was a little kind of distracting, like, okay, which side do I be? Do I listen to this little voice that I'm hearing here? Do I listen to the big voice coming through your channel?
Thank you.
Do I keep my eyes open and look at the lights and see if because I don't know the names or whatever, and do I see like, oh, okay, do I interpret that, or do I close my eyes and interpret those really kind of
Great question.
things that are like forming,
Yeah.
like as like I would never have created that myself, so
Yeah.
that's something for someone, and that's so I was just a little kind of like, which is the more powerful way of being, to be present and also hold the space for everyone else without going into my own personal things.
Sure.
But, being up in the world.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did anybody else have also that similar like challenge? Because there should be a few of you that had that. Okay, thank you so much for that. Because, for example, I in this space that I'm in, I would never be in the audience right now because when they start coming in, there's a full interaction. And this is why like I completely stopped 3 years ago doing QHHT, because once the higher self came and the other one, like mine was coming, I just couldn't even be for the client because I was going into that space. Like this is a big problem, So thank you because once you start opening up really multidimensionally, it is very interesting, that interaction. You can stay present and experience all of it. But those of you, there are a few of you here, that you're designed to be an instrument of pure channel, believe me, you're gonna be like, it starts to come in because it starts to want to come in, it starts working with you. So one of the things that began happening to me, I couldn't really go into a channeling like event anymore because I'll be like, oh, the voices are like I had passed that place that I can actually control it. Even into a meditation, Michael and I were in Crete, and I usually do everything like, oh my God, I'm the body, and they're coming in. So it's like this. Oh, we have to give Fidel his sweaters back there. Love you. And thank you so much, Fidel. So much love. Thank you. That's mine. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's his, Michael. So what happened is when I was sitting there, the lady, it's her event. She's guiding this, whatever she's guiding. I don't know what she was guiding. And it was incredible. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and Michael's, I was like, God, please, Michael, do something. I can't, it's coming. And they're like, we have to speak. It was the rays of light. We have to speak. I'm like I don't want to be the spotlight, right? I fought it so hard. I fought it. And they're like, we have a message. And I was like, okay. And thank God it was at the end. I'm like, rays of light coming in. So guess what happened? The lady's been dying to speak to rays of light for years. She's been dedicated to rays of light. So within 5 minutes, gave her very specific instruction. The way she's been leading the meditation, she's been working with 2 of the elements versus the 7. Gave specific instruction how to use the other 5 elements in teaching it. And everybody was like tears, crying. And meanwhile, I just want to crumble, go hide, because I'm like, like, oh my God, like, God, can't you just sit in your body? What the hell? Like, you know? So point being, you use discernment, and you find it. If there is you can't hide it, because you know there is a feel and force. You stay present to what you can. But sometimes if you are of a pure channel and you're going in that direction, it's coming in and you start studying it. You'll know. Like, I just couldn't be in this shoe because there'll be too much interaction, you know? Yeah.
Of course, I was worried about that.
Yeah, I know.
But it wasn't, that was not, there was no need to worry. It was not my experience at all. There was no fighting. I was so worried I was going to be in my chair squirming. Yeah. But it was clear that, but I did ask a question, and also I didn't want to even ask the question. So when my heart started pounding, I was like, why? Why can't I just receive for once? But it was clear that I was supposed to ask that question, and the question didn't make sense to me. Okay. But it was clear that that's when it was my turn to talk. So it was a very clear interaction. Mode, and then, a very clear interaction. And I think, like, when you take ego out of it, which seems to be the theme of everything you're saying today, is when you take the fear and the ego out of it and you're in pure presence, you just know what your role is supposed to be.
Exactly.
I was so worried about channeling, but I guess I did channel, but I channeled in my.
Thank you. And that's exactly, you will know, because some of it, you know, you put that ego where, you know, and you're experiencing, you sing, you want to be in the observer seat. And sometimes then you know, because once you hear, you know, and you can't fight your heart, you know. So thank you. Yes.
I can really relate to that, because I was in the same kind of, like, being present, and I can't even tell you what was being said.
Right,
I was hearing it, and I wasn't hearing it, and I was in it, and, like, you know, time has been unraveling in my head in such a weird way, because I just don't understand it. Yeah. But it's like, it's just this unraveling, and so I'm, like, looking up here, and I'm, like, seeing it unravel, and I'm just like, the wall's moving. Yeah. Okay. And like, then still trying, but then I was worried I was missing something that was supposed to be said. And then, like, it's interesting that you said the thing about dreams, because I've always had very vivid dreams, you know, that my dreams, and I've always just kind of explained it away. My background is therapy, psychotherapy. I've always explained it. Someone said, I've always explained it away. And even like last night, my dreams were very vivid, and like I woke up this morning, just already feeling the tingling, feeling.
Because it starts working.
Already feeling it, and like it's been unraveling. Yeah.
It is a revelation of just the revealing of all of us coming out of whether it's a little baby egg like that, or the cosmic egg, the celestial egg, the angelic presence that we are. So it's just all of that coming out. So with that, I would like to for us to wrap up, and I would really love for us to hold each other's hand as we just bless this. And